All right, so in this video, I'm going to be breaking down some of the more recent community drama, at least on the YouTube content creation front, and it, of course, just highlights the rift in the Destiny 2 community between new lights and so-called veterans. I have a personal pet peeve when Destiny when Destiny players call themselves vets because you know, at least here in North America, a veteran is somebody that served their country on the front lines, not in a first-person shooter video game, but in a real-life first-person shooter, getting bullets hailed towards you and standing up to defend our country and defend the innocent. So it's just distasteful. I know that Bungie is also referred to as longtime Destiny players as veterans. Look, I don't like it. Okay, it just irks me. Okay, so as soon as somebody starts calling themselves a veteran, it immediately turns me off. Nothing against that person per se. It's just, semantics at the end of the day. But the irony here is that so what is this rift that I'm talking about? As you can see from the thumbnail here, itsTizzle made a video about being heartbroken about some of the recent bugs and zoetic lock sets, and then just generally in the game. I know he's made a few videos like that where he's just kind of crying about the state of Destiny, and I know it comes from a place of passion, but not my personal taste in content. If you want to report bugs and do game testing and stuff like that, highly respect it. And I think it's important. I think people should be loud about it, and I think those types of videos should get the visibility that they need for Bungie to see those complaints and constructive criticism and do something about it. But look, it's not like your human rights are being violated. It's not like Bungie came over to your house and beat you up and bullied you. It's a video game at the end of the day. I know you paid money for it, and maybe your life depends on it. Maybe maybe you're living paycheck to paycheck because you decided to do Destiny content, and so that I don't have any personal experience with. I have a real life job. I have other stuff in my life to be heartbroken about that doesn't involve video games. Okay, I got kids, I got an animal rescue, I got a business. I'm in my 40s. Like, the last thing on my list to be heartbroken about is a video game, and even the one that I love the most. So I'm going to state that right off the bat. So Tizzle posted this video. Bradley the Bradster, as you can see over here, he's a new light, and he made a reaction video. And the reaction video was just basically stating, he was just saying it's ridiculous what Tizzle had to say. And I think Bradley's take on Tizzle's video was a little bit not out of place per se, but it wasn't really understanding of Tizzle's perspective either. And the thing is here, Bradley purports himself as a comedian, and the irony here is that he appears to be an actual veteran as well, right? So now he's got the entire D1 veteran community coming after him, belittling him because they're veterans, quote unquote veterans, right? So this is the hilarious thing. This dude's probably, he's put his life, if he's an actual veteran and served in the military, he's actually put his life online, right? Not behind a video game, like real life things. So get off the veteran high horse, okay? It's a video game. But anyways, so Bradley was a little bit out of place in some of his arguments. But the thing is, I understand where he's coming from, because at the end of the day, like I said, if your emotions are that involved in the game, where bugs, break your heart and make you break down into tears, then he just thinks it's ridiculous, and frankly, so do I. So I think there's a better way to go about being constructively critical about the game, right? So Bradley made this video, and then of course Tizzle commented on the video, and it was just completely condescending. It was like a mile-long comment, and basically, I have a lot to teach you. You can learn from me, blah blah. Bradley was never asking to be taught. I get the mentality of a lot of content creators think that they know that they can teach the community, and they have, and they've gotten feedback from their subscribers and their followers, and you know they're certainly valid in their expertise in teaching people about the game, but not everybody wants to be taught by you, right? I mean, you can't just force your lecturing on people. Like, sorry, but some people just don't want to be taught by you. Some people can figure stuff out for themselves, right? So that was pretty distasteful. And then we get the other comedian YouTuber, Mr. Gamin Counselor, smaller creator, but he does a lot of hate content on the game, but generally in a more comedic sense. So it's kind of funny. Like, you could tell Mr. Gaming Counselor is very emotionally invested, just like Tizzle is, but they portray it in different ways. Tizzle gets a little bit heartbroken, breaks down about it, and Gaming Counselor, you know, just spews the hate, right? And not that Tizzle doesn't spew hate as well. I've seen a couple of his videos where he's just, you know, fucking this, fucking that, fucking corporations, the managers and their mindsets, like he knows everything about, you know, every Bungie employee. It's almost like he's a disgruntled employee of Bungie. Like maybe he was, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's where this is coming from. Maybe he used to work for Bungie, and maybe he did have his human rights violated. Maybe he got wrongfully terminated or something. I don't know. But anyway, so Mr. Gaming Counselor does a video reacting to Bradley's video reacting to Tizzle, and Mr. Gaming Counselor just basically shits all over Bradley. And Mr. Gaming Counselor purports himself as like a master debater, right? Like, I don't know, he's in the head of the debates class in school or something like that. But I mean, basically he's just in his video, he's just hurling insults at Bradley. You know, and everybody that's behind Tizzle and Mr. GC, Gaming Counselor here, in the comment sections, which, by the way, between these three videos, between Tizzle's, Mr. Gaming Counselor's, and Bradley's, there's about 2,000 comments, 70,000 views. So it is quite a discussion, right? Even if it's, you know, not seen by everybody in the community, that's a pretty big portion to have 2,000 comments back and forth. But yeah, a lot of the people commenting are, of course, backing the bigger subscriber base here with Tizzle and Gaming Counselor, and you know, just teaming up on Bradley. But the issue here is, in my opinion, like the veterans, right? The older Destiny 2 players really just need to chill. Okay, new lights are allowed to come into this game, and they're allowed to put in hundreds of hours, maybe a couple thousand hours, maybe, you know, a fraction of what you put into the game as a day one D1 vet. But they're allowed to have their own opinions, right? And you could disagree with them. It doesn't mean that hate should be hurled back and forth on either side, which both have done, right? Not hate per se. I think Bradley was just more trying to be comedic, and, you know, he was ridiculing Tizzle, right? So, I mean, there was that, but I'm just not a fan of this whole like new light versus veteran thing. Like, it's a fucking video game, okay? And personally, I'm coming at this from the perspective of hopping back into Destiny during Witch Queen. Now, I played the absolute shit out of Destiny 1, so should I call myself a day one D1 vet? Like, I got PS4 when it released in 2014. Destiny was like one of the first games I got on it as soon as it released. So yeah, so I guess I'm a veteran, right? But really, I took a break from the franchise when Bungie decided to piss me off, right? So I wanted to highlight this because I feel like there's a lot of veterans, so-called veterans, that you know, if you consider yourself a veteran, have you ever taken time off the game? Did you ever go play Warframe, First Descendant, Remnant, anything? Did you ever go and spend some time playing other video games? Because if you did, then you weren't playing Destiny right at that time, right? So I mean, are you really a 10-year veteran of Destiny? Because that's what I did. I don't consider myself a day one D1 vet. Like, I've played other games, right? And I quit playing Destiny One, when I decided that Bungie was charging too much for their DLC packs or their expansions, and there wasn't any value for me in the game. And I said, screw this, I'm not forking out for freaking $40, $50 for a DLC. Like in 2014 and 15, that was unheard of. Like DLCs were like 20, 25 bucks, maybe tops, right? Even less Canadian. Like 10 to 20 bucks was about average. And Bungie's releasing a DLC for $40, $50. And it's like 2 missions and that's it. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm not playing this stupid shit. I'm not going to give Bungie my game. And that was all there was to it. And I left the game and I went to play other stuff, right? I didn't sit there and force myself to play the game and just bitch about it the entire time, right? Because that's what I see a lot of these veterans doing, is they're playing the game despite not being happy with the game. They're disgruntled, right? They stand against everything that Bungie is doing, but they still take it on the chin. And the funny thing is here, like Mr. Gamin Counselor keeps saying, it's these people that like the game that are shit eaters, right? They're taking the bugs that Bungie gives them and they're saying, oh, well, I like the game anyways, right? So they're shit eaters. But really, you're the shit eater. Like, if you're the one complaining about the game day in and day out, regardless of it being from a place of passion or not, what the fuck are you doing? Like, get out of here. Like, go enjoy yourself. Go play something better. Quit giving Bungie your time and your money, right? That's what I did back in 2015 or whatever. And when I came back to Destiny, the funny thing is, actually, here's a little story before I got back into Destiny. One of the main games that I was focused on was Call of Duty Warzone, right? Now, I'm in my 40s, okay? So I've been playing Call of Duty since 2003. Since it originally released on PC. Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, United Offensive, before it was ever on console in any form or fashion, I played Call of Duty. Eventually, I ended up getting a PS3 because my PC wasn't keeping up. So my wife got me a PS3 for my birthday one year, got me Call of Duty Black Ops. So I re-entered the Call of Duty franchise. And I thought, okay, this is awesome. So I really enjoyed my time with Black Ops. And then Activision, right? So, I mean, it is relevant here because we're talking about Activision, right? Then Activision decided to release another Call of Duty the next year, right? And this was kind of like right at the beginning of when Activision decided to start releasing annual Call of Duties, right? So it was all hyped up, right? So Black Ops was going into Modern Warfare 3. They released Modern Warfare 3. At that time, every single video game that was releasing sequels increased the quality of the game, right? The graphics were better. There was more features. They got rid of old bugs, etc. Very, common stuff in video games, especially back then, right? And so that pissed me off. Like, I'm not going to pay a full price. I'm not going to pay $70 for a freaking reskin of Call of Duty Black Ops. There's literally no improvement. If anything, the game looked worse than Black Ops, right? And this is a future release. So I got pissed off and I sold MW3. I refused to quit putting my time into that game. Okay. Now I fell for this again because I bought the next expansion, which I think was Black Ops 2. Same story, no improvement whatsoever. Fuck this, sold it. Then I never touched Call of Duty again, right? Until Call of Duty Warzone released and it was free to play. Right, and it was, it was what's the word? Innovative in a sense, even though it was taking on the BR gameplay from other games like what is it, H1Z1 or DayZ or whatever, PUBG, right? I think Fortnite was already out at this time, but anyways, Battle Royale was like a brand new popular PvP game mode. Okay. And so Call of Duty actually made it free. 150 players, right? 120, 150 players, whatever. Brand new game mode. So I'm like, what do I have to lose? The game is free. I'm not gonna be a disgruntled consumer by just forking out my money to Activision. It was still Activision at this point. It was before Microsoft bought them. But anyways, so it turns out I ended up just really digging Call of Duty Warzone, and I played that for over 2 years, pretty much exclusively, just solo battle royale all the time. Occasionally duos, trios, quads, but mainly just solos. And then because I enjoyed the game so much, I even bought MW 2019. And then I think I bought the World War II one as well, Vanguard. I didn't buy Cold War because Cold War was like same story. The game looked worse than MW 2019, despite being the next annual release. But regardless, it was optional to buy the expansion packs, and if you did, then you could level up your weapons faster and have better guns, right? So I did that. I bought MW 2019. So Activision, Call of Duty, basically convinced me through their free-to-play stuff to actually invest money in the game again. Turns out I feel like I kind of made a mistake with that, because 2-3 years later, and this is supposed to, Call of Duty Warzone is supposed to be a live service video game, okay, which entails that it is continuous, right? So imagine you start buying cosmetics, unlocking skins, maxing out your guns, and then all of a sudden Activision's like, hey, we're coming out with a brand new Call of Duty title again, and we're just gonna make Warzone 2, and we're gonna erase everything that you invested into Warzone 1. All of your skins, all of your cosmetics, all of your guns, gone, right? Imagine today if Fortnite decided to release Fortnite 2, and they deleted all of everybody's V-Buck purchases, right? That was what Activision did with Warzone, right? Now, if I wanted to be a shit eater, I could have said, okay, I'll just, whatever, it's okay. I'll just, say goodbye to all the stuff I spent money on and wanted to keep with the intent, even though I was told that this was going to be a live service, a continuously evolving video game with a battle pass, like what Fortnite was doing. But, right, this is how Activision wanted to handle it. And so I could have eaten shit, and I could have gone to play Warzone 2 and bought the next Warzone title. I can't even remember what it's called, because at that point, as soon as they announced that, I said, fuck this game. I'm done. I'm not. That's just, that's corporate greed. It's bad community communication. Just not worth it, right? So I decided not to be a shit eater by giving my money to Activision for producing a game that was misleading and that essentially duped me out of my money. Okay, so what happened at that time? Witch Queen was freshly out. This was like February 2022, I want to say. And I see, all of a sudden Destiny 2 has like stellar reviews. And I did briefly try Destiny 2 when it first released. And I'm like, yeah, this is the same old shit. I'm not going to pay money for this. It was like a free demo on PlayStation Plus or something like that at the time. But then Witch Queen comes out right as I'm fed up with Call of Duty, and Witch Queen's got like rave reviews. This is the best Destiny 2 has ever been. It's the best expansion, and boom, Destiny 2 is now free to play, right? Maybe it became free to play in Beyond the Light, I'm not sure, but either way, Destiny 2 is now free to play, and it was in the best state ever, according to the gaming community in general, I would say, right? So I'm like, well, what do I got to lose? I'll go try Destiny again. I used to love it, so maybe I'll like it. So I got hooked on the free to play, and now I own everything that there is to own in Destiny. Okay, so I missed out on the complete part of Destiny, like the sunsetting, the paying money for shit quality. Okay, I didn't do that. Okay, because I already got fed up with Bungie, with Activision, with Destiny in the past, right? Just like I did with Activision with Call of Duty. So I'm not like a jilted, jaded Destiny player that's been there for 10 years dedicated to eating shit the entire time. Okay, so I think Mr. Gaming Counselor is off base when he's calling new lights and people that enjoy the game shit eaters. I think it's the people that don't enjoy the game that are getting their heart broken, their feelings hurt. They feel like they're being robbed of their time and their money, and then they're still giving it to Bungie, right? And now to Sony, right? So that's kind of where I'm coming from. yeah, so I just feel like new lights coming into this game. It's fresh. You know, if they're enjoying the game, good for them. And another thing too, like, you don't have to play this game for 10 years straight. You don't have to put 6,000 hours in to understand a video game. Like, you understand that, like, putting 6,000 hours into something can get you like a bachelor's degree, or like a job certificate. Like, you can become a journeyman tradesman. Like, you can complete an entire apprenticeship in a construction trade, like bricklaying or carpentry, or be an electrician or a plumber. Okay, this is a fucking video game, dude. Like, you could spend 100 hours in here and you can know almost everything that there is to know in the game. And just because you played the game 10 years ago, okay, what exactly was in the game 10 years ago that is still in the game right now that somebody that's only put in a couple seasons can't understand, right? Because a lot of the stuff that was in here 10 years ago is gone. Like, the old subclasses are gone. That knowledge doesn't matter anymore, right? Like it's not rocket science. It's a video game, right? And I feel the same way about people that are all elitist about, like, you know, oh, I'm a Arc Titan main, Trinity Ghoul main. Okay, like, okay, so you spent 10,000 hours playing on Arc Titan with Trinity Ghoul only, so you must, you know, it must be impossible for anybody to know any, you know, as much as you know about Striker Titan and Trinity Ghoul. Like, people just need to get off their high horse, let people come in, let them enjoy the game, right? I'm trying to do this without taking sides too much. Like, I definitely see the error in both sides here, and I understand people's perspectives. I understand Mr. Gamin Counselor and Tizzle have been eating a lot of crap for a lot of years, so they're disgruntled, right? Mr. Gamin Counselor's comedic about it. Tizzle's a little bit whiny about it, IMO. Bradley's enjoying the game, and he thinks that's all ridiculous. He thinks their perspective is ridiculous. He doesn't see it, right? And he said in his video, quit playing the game. Go play other games. There's hundreds, thousands of other games out there, right? And yeah, like I said, I'm in my 40s. I've been playing games for a long-ass time, and Destiny is a pretty damn good game. Bugs usually get sorted out, and when I come across a bug, I'm usually pretty loud about it myself. So... but I'm not going to sit here and cry about it or eat shit about it. Like, I'm not going to refuse. I'm refusing to play Sunder Doctrine right now because I want to play Zoetic Lock Set in a certain way, but I can't because the crit damage is bugged. Surges aren't working, right? So there's a lot of bullshit bugs, but it's going to get fixed and I can still play the game. Like, I'm out farming the nether and doing other stuff. I'm build crafting. Like, it's not going to end the game for me. If it was ever so bad where it was, and I feel like I was being ripped off, then yeah, I would quit playing the game. But anyways, that's all I have to say on the matter. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.